Hey there, Cosmic Nuts and Cosmic Naughties, and welcome to the 7th season of Slab City Update. So can you believe it? My 7th season? Who would have thought that I would have been doing this for 7 seasons now? Anyways, I really didn't think I would. As the title of this video says, it begins with an end. As a lot of you may already know, my buddy Zack Wilde passed away. He ended up having a seizure in the hot springs. And he was not able to be rescued in time. So on Halloween, really the kickoff of our season, we had a memorial party for him. And the range wasn't going to be open, so it was a pretty big turnout. People from town showed up. You know, Zack's really touched a lot of people's lives. He is definitely an outgoing person and probably knew just about everybody out here. And really, when I first came here, Zack and his brother Daniel were one of my best friends out here. We used to hang out on a daily basis. And while Cornelius, CJ, and Caveman were the first to do the 3 questions with cause, Daniel and Zack were 4 and 5. So you guys have been wanting the 4 questions with cause back. I'm going to start it with a throwback with Zack Wilde. All right, another 4 questions with cause. We got Zack with us here today. Zack, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My full name is Zachary Vincent Wilde. I've been in the slabs for about 5 years. I guess I've seen a lot of crazy shit.
All right. So, what brought you to Slab City?
Family.
Family?
Yeah.
All right. And so what has been your favorite thing about Slab City?
The range.
The range? All that live music? Mm-hmm. Fair enough. What has surprised you most about Slab City?
The drugs.
The drugs? Want to elaborate on that? Not enough of it, too much of it, like...
Too many crazy drugs, not enough weed.
Alright. And lastly, if there is one thing you could change about Slab City, what would it be?
There ain't enough weed.
Alright. So that's another 4 questions with cost. And yeah, their memorial, they did a video presentation of some things, and they actually opened with that. And it kind of put a little lump in my throat. That evening I did decide to take some acid, and I had brought my camera with and stuff like that. And whenever I'm on acid, everything seems so heavy or takes so long. So I decided, you know, I'm going to take my camera back home. And it took so long to walk up here in my mind that once I got here, I was just kind of done. And I was going to stay home. I ended up just really, it's one of the few nights that we have clouds out here at all. And there was all kinds of clouds. We had a full moon. And it was, you know, really kind of beautiful to watch on the acid. And while I was laying in bed, you know, I was thinking about Zack and stuff like that. And some of you may know that I have a couple of musical instruments around here. Guitar, mandolin, and mainly that started because of Zack. Zack could play the guitar real well, but because he was a troubled teen and wasn't always living at home and stuff like that, when we'd hang out at the internet cafe, you know, he was constantly asking people if they could, or if he could borrow their guitar and play. So when I found this guitar and rebuilt it, I let him know that, you know, anytime that he wanted to come up and play, he was more than welcome to. And he did on a fairly regular basis, especially during the summertime. As you know, I do like to name the seasons, and with Zack passing away and all the stuff that's going on in the world today, I couldn't see a better fit than to name this season Stay Wild. The first Sunday of the season, the Oasis Club opens up and does its first breakfast. And they also do what's called the Pumpkin Bowl. And this season, I went there for that. I didn't feel like doing any cooking, but because of the acid trip, I was feeling kind of hungry. So myself and Nemo went over there, and I actually decided to film some of the Pumpkin Bowl for you guys. And while I was doing that, I was like, oh, you know what? Let's catch an angle of the ball coming towards it. And part of the reason why I went to film it is because I want to get better with my equipment. And part of that is remembering to bring stuff. And what I did not bring was the ND filter for my camera. I don't need it inside when I'm shooting my live streams, but do need it if I'm going to shoot outside. So I'm sorry if some of the footage is blown out. But yeah, I was like, oh, I'm going to set this up on this little tire here, and you get to see the pumpkin rolling towards you, sort of thing. And Penny, the person who was bowling at the time, no problem. The next person who got called, who actually happens to have a YouTube channel, wonderful story, he's starting to come out, and I'm like, ooh, you know what? With you tossing that pumpkin, because it's not a real pumpkin, it's, you know, a shell of a pumpkin, or not even a shell of a pumpkin, but like one of those plastic pumpkins. So it's pretty lightweight. And I was like, ooh, you know, I'm a little worried about it. And he's like, oh, whatever, I'm just going straight down the line, blah, blah, blah. Well, Joe happens to pitch it underhand, and this is what happens. I'm a little worried about you hitting my camera.
Where is it?
It's at the end.
Oh no, I'll make sure I try to hit the ground before then.
Comforting. There you go.
I won't be too much.
You know, I'm fair.
Come on, Joe, you can do it.
Get insurance.
How
Without one.
do you throw these again?
Underhand.
Underhand?
Underhand.
You gotta do under.
Yeah, you gotta give it the fucking old softball throw.
Come on, Joe.
You see them fucking
Look at it,
softball
bro.
girls do that fucking like super spin thing, man?
What?
Some of them fucking girls can move that ball. It's like, damn, that thing's like the size
Ready?
of a small melon. That would suck to be hit by.
Move, girl.
When you say.
God damn it, Todd.
That's gonna look great. I can't wait to see that one.
Holy shit.
But as you can see, the camera's fine, it's functioning, no real damage was done, but oh, did we get a laugh about that. And just like the Oasis has their opening and first function on the first Sunday, the Fallout Shelter Ecovillage has its first function on Monday, and that's the put my meat in your mouth function. And I made chicken wild rice soup, and I made a batch for about 30 people, and or actually 36, my bad. And I want to say maybe 12 people showed up. So gave out lots of seconds, fed some lunch to people, even got to put a full 8 servings into the freezer. So yeah, I made a bunch of it, and it was kind of a small turnout, but again, it was the first one, so you know, I wasn't expecting 100 people or anything like that. But this year I decided to try something new and have it be a dinner and a movie. And I don't know if you guys remember the TV show on TBS called A Dinner and a Movie, where they'd have a movie and then make a dish alongside of it that was kind of based on the movie. Well, I'm doing something similar to that this year. And seeming how wild rice does come from Minnesota, and people often refer to me as a grumpy old man on the hill, I decided that they could get to know me a little bit better by understanding where I come from, and we watched Grumpy Old Men. And we did that on this little projector thing that I got off of Amazon on Amazon Prime Day. I don't remember how much it was because it was pretty well discounted, but I think this is under $200, and you can just plug in your HDMI or a Chromecast device or one of those, you know, streaming things, casting things, and it's portable and you can take it with you. And we just put up a sheet on the side of the Tantra tent pole and plugged, because it does have an audio out for headphones, plugged that into a bigger speaker that I had, and was totally able to watch a movie with this thing and have a bunch of people over and still have a conversation. However, I was kind of the only one at the end, and seeing as how I did have some leftovers, I hit up a friend, told them to come over, and we watched some TV shows afterwards. So it wasn't packed, but it was a good time for sure. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this update. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz.
Send Carson money on PayPal so he can buy himself something to eat. Then he won't have to sell his body to Albanian men on the street. Where a broke hippie's living out in the desert, no money and no shoes. And he may smoke the marijuana, but at least he won't spend it on booze. If you enjoy Kaz's videos with their off-the-grid DIY,